Welcome to Sakshi TV special immigration talk show with lawyer Mr. Srinivas Kaveti from Kaveti Law Firm. Please note that Sakshi TV now has four immigration shows every week. On Tuesdays, Mr. Srinivas Kaveti. On Wednesdays, with Mr. Shanti Reddy in English. On Thursdays, with Khan Parvatneni. And on Fridays, with Banu and Indra. Please tune in to ask your questions. If you are an immigration attorney or a lawyer, you can definitely contact Sakshi TV. You can email us at usa@sakshi.com or call us at 866-725-7441. Before we begin the show, please note that the information provided on this show is not legal advice and for general informational purposes only. Sakshi TV or its agents will not be responsible for the use of information. If you need any specific legal advice, you can contact the attorney directly. His law firm, Mr. Kaveti Law Firm, which is Kaveti Law Firm, is headquartered in New York City and is an international law firm with global footprint operating through their cities and offices in different countries like Australia, Asia, Europe, North America. They help individuals and companies deal with their legal matters. Their innovative approach to legal representation is one of the reasons why they are their top choice and priority for their clients. Mr. Kaviti's law firm focuses on international law and has a strong reputation on handling international businesses, investments, and immigration-based matters in United States, Europe, Asia, and Australia. So, without any further delay, let's welcome Mr. Kaveti himself. Hello, Mr. Kaveti Garu. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, Shivani. Yeah, it's been a
Yes.
great day. Thanks for
Yes.
asking.
So first of all, Mr. Kaveti Garu, Merry Christmas. And I know that you are living in New York City right now, and unfortunately, it's not actually the best time there. How is everything happening there? And can you like give us an update?
Yeah, it's been very, very cold in New York City. We're running into minus. Normally, we expect a white Christmas. It was not white Christmas. It was snowy before and after. Very, very cold. A lot of deaths in New York State. But overall in America, weather is very rough. But, we got to work. We are working.
Yes. So, Mr. Kaveti, we are actually going to discuss a very different topic this time. We've never had shows like this before, but today we thought we will discuss a little about different job opportunities around the world apart from USA. But first of all, let's get on to why we actually decided. We did decide because you said that you're going to leave to London very soon for a legal matter, for some of your work, and now that you have like offices around the world in different countries. Mr. Kaviti, can you give a heads up on what exactly are we going to talk about today in our show, and just give a brief summary to the viewers watching?
Yeah, because, we are, approaching H-1B time, I guess, in 2023, the employees and employers, do's and don'ts and what they should do. That's the first, item we would talk. And the second thing is, everybody thinks it's only America, H-1Bs. But now even UK has come up with tier visas, tier 2, tier 1, for IT professionals. Even UK is hiring some IT professionals now. Actually, I'm actually going to London next week to meet some of the clients over there, those who want to set up their companies in America, and American companies, those who want to set up in UK, and how they can do work permits to UK. And that's another segment we will talk. And from there, I'm actually traveling to Malta. Even Malta is starting with a lot of IT companies where they have gaming professionals, and gaming is lawful in Malta. What is gaming? It's like running a casino online. So a lot of IT professionals, those who have specialized in gaming softwares, some of our clients, they want to set up a corporation, IT companies in Malta. So they're having some job opportunities in Malta as well. And from there, I'll be traveling to Israel. And Israel is also, because if you see, all the startup companies with artificial intelligence. A lot of Indian companies are also there, Larsen and Turbo and Tata Consultancy. There are small size companies are also going now to Israel. So we are going. Actually, I'm also visiting Israel, and from there I'll be going to Dubai. So it's a lot of work permits to Dubai as well. So it's a lot of international employment opportunities for people all over the world now, post COVID. That's what we're going to discuss, I guess. Just to give your viewers who are watching this show all over the world, it's just not only just H-1Bs, not only just IT professionals coming to America, but people have opportunities all over the world.
Yes. So, Mr. Kaveti, you've been in this, you've started this law firm a long time ago, and now you're working in so many different countries. Of course, there are Indians all around the world, and of course, there is a big myth that only countries like America or Canada is like the best country to live in, especially for Indians. But you yourself are an amazing example about how, people from different countries and especially now Indians need lawyers like you. You're like an international lawyer yourself. So why do you think people have first gotten this impression about okay, USA and Canada is like the best countries that everybody should work in, and why do you personally think that they don't really apt for other different countries?
I guess the first thing is people don't have information. I mean, that's the first thing. If you have information, that's a key. It's not just US and Canada. There are many other European countries where IT is big now, and especially after COVID, a lot of people have deceased, and these European nations they're opened up their doors, especially UK. Of course, Canada, you can't get a work authorization from overseas. There's a big scam going on in Middle East and in India. Whenever I go, they say, "Oh, can you get a work permit coming from India to Canada?" That's not possible because it's called LMO. What happens is they have to show the Canadian employers have to show the Canadian government and the Department of Labor that there's no person available. It's not that easy in Canada because a lot of students they go and they're going with IT background, and a lot of scam is going on in India and every part of the world. So, and one is of course, a lot of people from India they come to US on an H-1B. The second popular destination is Canada, and now UK is also a very popular destination for IT professionals going to UK and Malta and Israel as well, because a lot of startup companies are in Israel, especially artificial intelligence, AI. And now there are other countries like Poland is also opening up doors for Indians. So I guess because we don't have information and we don't have too many people, so people are only they just want to come to America, but there are other parts of the world too. They're opening up their doors and people are going. And people like me, they do help individuals migrating to other parts of the world.
Yes. Like how you mentioned, Mr. Kaveti, that people don't really have information about, what specific roles or what specific jobs are like famous or like top priority in different countries. Can we talk a little about the jobs kind of a perspective, or let's talk about let's talk about what are the main, job uh, what are the main jobs, let's just talk about because people, if we go to America, a lot of people just think, oh my god, I have to work for IT, I have to be some, I have to be an engineer, do that. But I'm pretty sure there are other job opportunities and other job responsibilities that are actually not that, people don't really know information about. So now that you've traveled so many different countries around the world, what are some of the jobs that people can consider here in India if they want to move to another part of the country?
Yeah, Shivani, because if you see in Israel or in UK, A lot of nursing homes are hiring caregivers. You don't have to be a nurse, and a lot of people, midwives, and people who have done 2 years of diploma in nursing, they can also go to work in nursing homes in UK now. They're getting paid decent salary. And in terms of caregiver jobs, people are going to Israel. Israel has got a lot of number of old people more. So, they're also going to Israel. Matter of fact, a lot of people are also going to, construction workers are going to Siberia, and a lot of people are going to even, England. They're taking, pharmacists are going, doctors are all going now, nurses are going now, and other accountants. For example, if you see Malta, Malta is an English-speaking country. It was ruled by Englishmen once upon a time. The euro dollar is more powerful than US. Now, accountants' positions are there in Malta, and people with hotel management. A lot of jobs in Malta, they do get more than 1 lakh rupees salary, and nobody are aware of this, that they can get work permits in working in Malta in hotel management jobs, accountant jobs, IT jobs, and people working in banks. So different job professionals, and even drivers. Now Malta requires at least 100 drivers. If you have a driver's license driving a bus or a truck, you can go to Malta for work permit, and you would make at least 120,000. 1,20,000 rupees. Things like that. If you explore the world, and a lot of construction workers now, they're going to Siberia. Siberia is part of Europe, and Belgrade. It's a European country, but if you speak English, construction workers like electricians, plumbers, you can go to Siberia. It's part of Europe now. So, in Poland as well. And Poland is also looking for people who can deliver food, and they're going there, food supplying. And people are working in factories. So there are so many jobs in different parts of the world after COVID, especially, and doors are getting opened, and the processing time is only 2-3 months. And we've been helping. We've been helping in other parts of the world. And matter of fact, I'm going to UK to meet some employers. If anybody is interested in meeting me, I'll be in London for 4 to 5 days. I'm willing to help them to get work permits in UK, and we're also working with some employers from Israel. If somebody is interested in Israel and Malta, we can help them. It doesn't have to be an IT top technology professionals, but even network engineers. They're going to Europe, and even Portugal. We've been talking to people in Portugal as well.
Yes. So, Mr. Kaveti, you being a lawyer yourself, what are some professions that you have personally dealt with? Apart from, let's just remove the IT, profession. I know it's very common, it's very popular, but what are some unpopular jobs that you have personally dealt with, and what kind of problems have you solved apart from the US immigration?
Well, if you see, in the past, in America, and unfortunately, because India is not a treaty partner, but people come to US for working in agricultural farms. Like Jamaicans, they come. A lot of Caribbeans, they come to America to work in resorts during the summertime. There are some blue collar jobs in America, but they're not unfortunately, for Indians. There are some treaties with Bangladesh and Pakistan and some Mexican countries. From Caribbean countries, people do come to America for working in farms, even fruit picking jobs. So, they're not very popular for Indians because we don't have a treaty with India, unfortunately. India is not having great relationship with many countries in terms of supplying workers. If you see Filipinos now, Filipinos have a contract with Israel government to supply hotel management guys. And I was in Israel a month ago, I met some Filipino girls doing housekeeping jobs, and I asked them, "How did you come to Israel?" And they said the Israeli government has a contract entered with Filipino government, and the Filipino government is supplying some girls to work in hotels in Israel. So I guess the Indian government has to open up their eyes and enter into international contracts with other foreign countries so that we have so much of talent in our country that they could be able to go and work in these foreign countries. Indian foreign minister or Indian foreign affairs, they should, move in that direction because India has a lot of talent. We have trade schools, and our people also speak English in comparison with any Middle Eastern countries or people in comparison with Pakistan or Bangladesh. And our people, they speak English. So, they should enter into some sort of a trade agreements so that they can supply even construction workers, plumbers, electricians, and stuff like that. And they are getting opportunities to go to some of these European countries.
Yes. So, Mr. Kaveti, let's talk specifically about Europe. There are some one of the popular European countries. The first one is, of course, England, and apparently there's been a lot of disputes, and there's been a lot of rules and regulation changes, and a lot of people are having this myth that if they now want to move or study in the UK, there's very less or probably no probable chance of you getting a permanent residency. Is that true? And what are your views on people moving from India to UK on job purposes maybe, or maybe a student visa?
The beauty in UK is not many people understand this. In UK, if you go as a student, you can apply for a post work permit. And once you work there in that country, and if you're in a payroll and if you're working for 5 years, you don't need any company to sponsor you for filing your green card, which is called permanent residency. And people who work for 5 years in UK, they can apply for a permanent residency. They can get a permanent residency, which is called living unlimited. It's called residency living unlimited time, and then you can apply for a citizenship. But whereas in America, people are waiting for 18 years, 19 years from H-1B, and you need to have an employer sponsoring you. That is not the case in UK. That's not the case in Canada. If you work for 5 years, if you acquired skills, you can apply for your permanent residency in UK and as well as in Canada, same as in many European countries. So not
Yes.
many people don't know this.
Yeah. So you think now that even post COVID, or now that they are, they're still saying that the pandemic might still come back. But what are your views exactly for people moving to UK? Do you think it's a good idea right now, and maybe in like a year or so? What are your views as an international lawyer?
See, you must understand now, Shivani, because the Prime Minister is an Indian guy, and even the Immigration Minister of UK is a Patel. She's a Gujarati. So, I mean, if you see the Mayor of London, he's a Pakistani Muslim. I mean, all the key positions are, occupied by Desi guys. And now after post, COVID, and because they have come out from the Brexit policy, uh, because it's not easy for Europeans who don't speak English to come into UK and settle now. And they're giving a lot of opportunities for Indians who speak English, pay the taxes, and who are by the books. They're getting permanent residency in UK. So I guess this is a time, and it's immigrant friendly now. So this is a time where people with pharmacy background, medical background, people who want to work in hospitals, nursing homes, people who want to work in IT, and people who want to work in non-IT also, they're getting work permits, even accountants in UK. So they should definitely consider going to UK. And
Yes.
even lawyers, I
Mr.
mean,
Yeah.
even lawyers
Yeah.
can they
Please
go
continue.
and take the exams and settle there in UK as a lawyer. And even chartered accountants from India, they can go and take the tests and exams. They can become a chartered accountant in UK and they can settle in UK. I've met a lot of people.
Yes. So, Mr. Kaviti, let's talk about the not so famous other European countries. You did explain about, about how people can move to Portugal, people can move to other European countries. Can you mention and talk about little some other non-famous European countries that can be a great option for Indians to move in or work?
Well, Malta is another great destination now because it was part of England, and English degrees are recognized. The accounting system is in English, and a lot of hotel management guys, those who studied hotel management in India, you would see hundreds of hotel management guys graduating in India. They get only 15,000 to 20,000 rupees if they go and work in five-star hotels. If they move to Malta, they get at least 1 lakh rupees. And it's a famous tourist destination for Europeans. And if you see, it's a Mediterranean, and it's 365 days, there's sun. And because it's a sun, almost all the hotels are open 365 days, even late nights. So people with hotel management guys can move to Malta. That's another great destination. And because it's a part of European Union and it's part of Schengen, so people who go to Malta, they can also go to some of these European countries like Portugal or Germany or any of those countries, and they can move and settle in Europe. So that's a great destination. And even accountants, I mean, they're looking at accounting. If you understand, most of the Europeans and Americans and Canadians and New Zealanders and Australians, they're not very good in math. They always use calculator from their childhood or computers. But when you see our country, because we are used to mathematics, tables, we memorize, we don't use laptops or computers or even calculators to do basic calculations. And our guys are good in mathematics and accounting. So a lot of accountants are in great demand in Malta, and so as in Portugal, so as in Poland as well. These are part of Europe actually, and it's doable. I mean, people they can approach those countries. It only costs them 3 to 4 lakh rupees. They can go, they can stay with their families, and we've been helping some people to migrate to Malta, and even some construction workers. They're going to Belgrade now, which is a part of Europe again. A lot of that country also opened up for Indians. The other thing, Shivani, you must understand, and a lot of your viewers must understand, because of the Ukraine war, and China is supporting and Russia is supporting, one side of China is supporting Russia. So, countries which are not supporting Russia or China, and for example, if you see Israel, they just passed a law saying that they don't want to take any more Chinese workers to come to Israel and work. The Israeli government just passed a law saying that they would like to take some construction workers from India. And that means Indians with plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, and tile makers. All these peoples have opportunity to migrate to Israel on a work permit. I mean, because the world is becoming two now, because some are pro-China and Pakistan and Russia. There are many countries against those three countries. So, those are not in favor of Russia and China. They are not encouraging. For example, if you see Poland, they openly say we don't want to take workers from Bangladesh and Pakistan. I mean, it's a discrimination, but people going from India, they have opportunity. I mean, these are not spoken in a media openly, but when I was speaking to some lawyers in Poland and some employers, they openly told me, we don't want any workers from Bangladesh and Pakistan. It's a closed door policy. It's not open policy. Like that, many countries, they're not showing in favor. So these are all there undercurrent. So, people from India, they should take opportunity and try to move to those countries where there are some great opportunities. They can make at least 1 lakh rupees, travel, and they can take their families. Eventually, they can take their families and, settle in those countries, in Europe and those countries.
Yes. Mr. Kaveti, looks like we have a caller right now. So I think the caller can ask a question. Yes, caller, please ask a question.
Hello.
Hello, hi. You can ask a question to Mr.
Hello.
Kaveti.
Yeah, so this is Tanya here, and I just wanted to ask, like, what is the processing time for I-485?
What? 485? It's an adjustment of status
Yes.
application. If somebody is on a non-immigrant visa, somebody is a student or somebody is on an H1, somebody who comes to United States on a non-immigrant visa, if they want to apply for a green card, so you apply to the immigration, the form is called I-485. It's just an adjustment of status application.
I Okay, so I just wanted to know the processing time, like how much time it will take after submitting the documents.
Or depends upon if it is a marriage petition or if it is an investor's visa, depends upon what visa. And again, there are 4 service centers, they have their own processing times. You can check it up online with the USCIS website.
Okay, thank you so much, Tony, for the information.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So, Mr. Kaveti, finally, is there anything that you want to tell to our viewers right now?
Well, I'll be there in that side of the world, in London and as well as in Israel and Malta and in Dubai. If anybody wants to get in touch with me, I'll be happy to give them advices over there. And if any of your viewers, they want to migrate to this side of the world, not just US, but as I mentioned to you, even to the in Israel or Malta or Belgrade or UK, you're quite welcome to contact us. We can assist the employers. We can also assist the employees. So don't just sit tight and if you guys want to come to America on an H1, this is the time from January. Get ready with your documents. Get in touch with the employers, your education evaluation, and check out with the employers and check out the prevailing wages. Check out the background of the companies and get ready for the H1B for the March.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Kaveti, for joining on to our show. Thank you for the viewers and callers for tuning in. You're watching Sakshi TV with me, Shivani Raj.
Thank you, Shivani. See you next week.
See you next week, Mr. Kaveti.
Thanks.
Thank you.